Welcome to this edition of Silver Sneakers Boom Muscle. Before we start, I want to relay a little story. I don't know if you can look and see. I have a little abrasion, a little discoloration there and on my cheek. Well, the other day I was carrying some groceries up a flight of stairs. Actually, I had a 12-pack of diet soda in each hand, so carrying it with my hands sort of tucked in. And I tripped on the steps, and before I could get my hands out to brace my fall, I landed right across here on a step. Hit pretty hard. I have a hard head. Didn't fracture any bones, didn't even get a bloody nose from it. But it reminded me of how important it is for seniors to be cognizant of our risk for falling. And we all know stories in the media, like of Dr. Atkins, who fell, hit his head, and then died from an internal brain bleed. So you never know when you might slip and fall. You have to protect yourself as best you can. One way to do that is to keep your body strong, fit, your bones as strong as possible, but also remove any hazards in your environment, loose carpets, items strewn around the floor, things on the stairs. But another thing to consider is when you're going up and down stairs is to leave one arm free, to hold onto a handrail. Don't carry your groceries in both arms. If you do carry something, have it in front of you, so if you fall, at least you might smash your groceries instead of your face. So with no further ado, we'll move on to our workout for today. I'm going to spend a little bit of time working on balance to help warm up. And then as far as equipment, might have some yoga blocks, some dumbbells, a mat on the floor, a half dome road suit type ball to work on balance, and a foam roller for mobility. Wearing shoes for most of my fitness activity with Silver Sneakers, footwear is permissible and many times recommended, as it does give you stability. So let's just start with some slow marching. I want to consider our posture, standing up tall, the idea that something is pulling the top of your head away from the floor. As you step a foot down, actually consider pushing it into the floor. That increases your stability as well. Then let's hold a knee up, try and balance for a few seconds, and switch to the other side. Let's bring that other side up. Tap down as you need. Put your knee out to the side. Just do a few up and down pulses, warming up our hips as well as working on our balance. Other side. And put your feet a bit wider than shoulder. Toes pointed about 45 degrees out. And just do a partial sumo squat. Want to make sure your knees track over your feet, that they don't buckle in. Always seem to get some nice feedback if you put your hands on the muscles that are working. Shift a little bit of a lateral lunge motion. Again, just a partial range of motion. And then switch to the other side. Roll my shoulders. I like to do some back shoulder rolls. And then forward rolls. And then we can transition into arm circles backwards. You can start off low, progress up to 45 degrees. Again, full horizontal. Remember to bring your shoulder blades down and together to open up your rotator cuff. And then arms down, we go forward, palms down, and up to 45. Then up to 90 degrees, shoulder blades down. And we can reverse with our palms up. Horizontal. And reverse, palms up. Let's transition into some trunk twists. Feet shoulder width apart. We'll go into some squats with an arm raise. Remember to breathe. Let's stand on one leg, lift the other one up, and do some ankle rolls. Again, you can always tap down to hold your balance. Other side. Other side. And we're going to do some heel raises. Into a partial squat and a heel raise. So check your exertion level. We wanted to go between 5 and 9 or so. So boom muscle can be pretty intense. Again, check your own level of exertion. If you need to take a little time out, go ahead and do that. If it's too easy, we'll try and have some progressions as we work through our workout. I'm going to start with some abdominal exercises. I actually like to do them on a platform where if I sit on it, my knee is about 90 degrees. This allows, if I'm doing like a leg lift, I get a bit of hip extension. Where if I'm flat on the floor, that basically stops at the neutral hip. So you can add a little weight for progression or not. To start off, we're going to do some flutter kicks, which are pretty intense abdominal exercise. You can take your hands, put them in a diamond shape and put them under your sacrum. You can have your back flat or raise your shoulder blades a little bit up off the mat as a progression. Make sure you engage your core. Try and keep your spine neutral so you're neither arching nor extending excessively. So start off with your hands under our lower back, knees out, and then just one leg at a time. As you can see, I go a little bit below horizontal, get a little bit of leg hip extension. From here, go out and in with the leg cross. I point my feet in together and extend my ankles on the out. Here we go to a bicycle. You can bring your arms up. From here, go into a Russian twist. So my body is about 45 degrees, twisting side to side. And our final exercise on this circuit is to do a crunch from straight legs. We bring our knees up, and bring our body up and try and get our elbows to meet our knees. Shift position so we can see that better. Your core and abdominal muscles, or like any muscle, responds to different types of exercise. For most general fitness, somewhere around 8 to 12 repetitions on a particular set. You might repeat that 2 or 3 times. I find the circuit, if I do it continuously, lasts for maybe a minute, minute and a half, pretty exhausting. So I'll take a couple minutes afterwards to rest and recover and get a drink of water. Then we'll continue from there.
I like to do exercises unilaterally if I can. I think it not only exercises the muscles you're working on, but also requires you to stabilize your core, prevent rotation, and often strengthens and facilitates the fascial sheaths. So one way we can start is just doing a dumbbell curl, just one side. Then as you switch sides, that arm is resting while you exercise the other one. And then switch back. And to progress, you can always increase the tension in the muscles that are working, and then concentrate on your upright posture, standing tall, and engaging those core muscles. Next we'll go to a shoulder press. And we don't want to push straight up. We want to be a little bit forward. So I like, if I can, I'm looking straight ahead, can I still see the dumbbell in my hand and my peripheral vision? That's probably the right angle. Progression for this is to lift the foot off the floor on the same side you're pushing. You can always tap down. It's working on balance as well as the fascia and strengthening the muscles of the shoulder. Next, I'm going to grab the Bosu ball and do some exercises with that. With the Bosu, or half dome ball, I think it's a good idea to always have it close to a wall or some support to help you with balance. Again, because it can really challenge your balance and we don't want to fall. So I'll start off by hanging onto my support and stepping up to the ball. And I'm just going to do some slow squats. You can always reach for your support. camera falling, not me. On this, got my support for the first few reps. I'm going to bring the foot out to the side, touching my support, and see if I can do it without the support. You can always come back, establish your balance. Let's try the other side. You can do a forward leg lift. And you can do a rear leg lift, hinge forward a little bit. I find these significantly more challenging than doing the same exercises on a firm floor or other support. Moving on with Bosu. You can flip it over and do some push-ups. You can always go into a plank position, which again, because of the unstable support, is more challenging than on a firm floor. To progress, you can try and lift one leg. All right, take a break. We'll come back and continue with some other exercises. To continue with this concept of one-sided unilateral movement, that is, I'm going to go to a renegade row. So with this, I switch to a couple of hex dumbbells because we don't want them to roll when we're putting pressure on them, because we're only having one hand at a time supporting our body. I'm going to start off to get used to the move in a modified plank. So my knees are down. Get my plank position and lift one side in a row at a time. It's important to try and keep your pelvis and your shoulders parallel to the floor. You don't want to do a lot of tipping with this. You have to engage your core, otherwise your body's going to rotate. To progress, let me change that. Start off by going into the full plank. Get your weight stable. Might have to put your feet a little bit farther apart for to stabilize. It's a very challenging exercise. As you can tell from my increased breathing rate, these exercises have pushed me into that almost V2 aerobic level, which is the same as an action interval. So just by doing the exercises, I'm completing the muscle strengthening and the cardiovascular component of the boom muscle. To finish, another unilateral movement is a side lunge combined with a shoulder press. To progress, you can go deeper into the lunge and get a heavier weight with a dumbbell. And switch sides. I'm going to finish up with some additional stretching and foam roller work to complete my workout for today. Hope you enjoyed this edition of Silver Sneakers Boom Muscle, and hope to see you next time.